Hi learners, welcome again to Reading with Mrs. Evans Outdoors Edition. So please, a reminder that once we read our story, make sure if you're learning at home and it's the daytime and it's especially if it's sunny and a beautiful weather like today, go outside or open a window, get some fresh air, and just make sure that you're taking time away from devices and having a genuine rest. This is one of my favourite stories as well. I'm going to tell you every time I get online here that this is one of my favourite stories because I love books so much and my class know how much I love stories. This one's called There's a Sea in My Bedroom. In fact, this is quite an old text. It's by author Margaret Wilde. I remember reading this text when I was young. In fact, it was first published in 1984 and Mrs. Evans was only about 3 years old. Already some beautiful visuals. David was frightened of the sea. It was a huge wet monster that gobbled him up, knocked him over and turned him upside down. He didn't like the sea, not at all, not one bit. But he liked collecting shells. He had fan-shaped ones, some that looked like trumpets, and some that looked like curved animals' teeth. There were yellow and grey and pink and purple, lots of different coloured shells, and we can see them all here. Then one day, he found a conch shell. It was shaped like a pear, brown on the outside and orange inside. "It's a very special shell," he said his father. "If you put it against your ear, you can hear the sea inside." Have you ever done that? Have you ever picked up a shell from the beach and placed it gently to your ear and you can hear the ocean? How could the big scary sea get inside a small shell, wondered David. But he pressed the shell against his ear and listened and listened. Then he heard the sea. It was soft and growly and friendly. David wasn't scared of the sea. Not at all. Not one bit. He took the shell to his bedroom and put it on the chair next to his bed. He felt sorry for the sea. It couldn't enjoy being trapped inside the shell. Perhaps he could let it out, just for a short while. It was such a friendly sea, all soft and growly. He stroked the shell and whispered, "Come out, sea, come out. I won't hurt you." He waited and waited. Nothing happened. Then he heard a swish-swishing noise and the sea rushed out of the shell. Amazing. Here it comes. It curled around his toes, foamed up his legs, and beat gently against the bed. David was getting wet, but he didn't mind, not at all, not one bit. He flopped down in the water and kicked his legs and splashed. He rode in his toy box, floated on his back, and did somersaults, 1, 2, 3. All around him his toys bobbed in the water. His red tugboat, his yellow wooden duck, and his blue striped seaplane. You can see them over here. He scooped handfuls of foam. The bubbles disappeared quickly in his hand. He laughed and laughed and laughed. His mother and father heard him and called, "What are you doing, David? What are you up to?" You can see he's so happy. Lots of joy and expression on that face. David jumped into the waves, then came up for air and shouted, "Mum, Dad, there's a sea in my bedroom. I'm jumping in the waves, I'm getting all wet." Having lots of fun. "A sea in his bedroom?" said his father. "A sea in his bedroom," said his mother. "What is he doing?" They opened the bedroom door and peeked in. There was David swimming on the floor with his toys all around him. But there was no sea at all. David sat up. Oh, I've got some corellas flying above me. David sat up. He touched his trousers and shirt and his hair. He was dry. There was a sea, he said. There was. A soft, growly, friendly sea. It lived inside the shell. It's gone back now. His father smiled. It's not a real sea, he said. It's just a noise that shells make when you put it against your ear. See, he must look like he's scratching his head a bit. But David knew there had been a sea in his bedroom. There was even a small piece of sand underneath his chair. Look there, he said, look there. I'm going to keep it always. I'm going to put the sand into a jar. Shall we go to the beach tomorrow? Asked his father. You can go swimming in the sea. He would take his kickboard. Oh, yes, said David, that would be fun. He would take his kickboard, his snorkel, and his bucket and spade. He wasn't frightened of the big sea anymore. Not at all. Not one bit. And there's the last page. Having fun in the sea. See you next time.
Stay tuned for more episodes.